Just hold your arms up.
You are Colossus.
You should play it
gotta hold your
backwards
arms
so it
up
looks
at
like
the
he's
same
like
time.
springing out of you.
No, it's just it doesn't see the file I'm trying to do. So I don't know if it's because Riverside's using the camera now, and that might be why it won't let me like do it.
Probably.
But it is what it is. All right, but we're live on Twitch. You can go ahead and put the links up in all the places.
Cool.
Done deal.
Deal done. Phone. Dashboard. Content. Want.
I'm hearing double audio.
Is anyone throwing one in the official Atomic Mass?
If you can, oh, that can we?
I put one in the MCP.
Oh, that can we?
Where it's supposed to be.
You said you're hearing double audio, Joey?
Yeah.
Do you have the Twitch stream up? If you do, mute it.
Yeah, make you mute the Twitch stream if you had Twitch open. I'm just calling this one the hype is real. I'm sure you guys are both okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm all about the hype.
Podcasts, YouTube channels, and other content creators may advertise their content, but may only make one post per week.
Okay, that's fine.
So, I'm gonna throw it up here.
I put one on the MCP Facebook group too.
Oh, you know what? I gotta get rid of all these MCP pictures.
Yeah, get them out of there. Quick, before I send people from AMG to us.
You know what? I'm gonna do this real quick. We're live. We can get like wait for people to get here. I'll do this real quick and put in some cool pictures. Joey, who's your favorite Marvel character?
Favorite Marvel character is Iron Man, no question.
Iron Man. That's who you want to be your picture.
That's me.
Okay.
How do you get that beard in the suit?
It's like a scarf.
Okay, here is just our image for this stream. Boom. I don't know if it's there yet.
That's your image for the stream, right?
Oh, can you see it?
I can see it. Yeah, it takes up the entire screen.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Speaking of, the new logo's getting worked on, by the way.
Awesome.
Nice.
Do we just? Or I don't know what to do with this. I guess I could crop it just to be his face. I got time. We doing hot takes today? We sure are.
Just do the little X on the center of his chest. That'll be the logo.
And that'd work. Boom. That looks that's fine. I can shrink it a little bit. Boom. All right, Joey wants Iron Man. I need a good. Give me like, do you have like a favorite comic panel or something like that? Marvel Iron Man comics.
Any of the Extremists run, they're all pretty sick.
Extremists. Sam, who do you want?
Let me think.
He's a fan of Toad.
Let me get you a picture from during my we only post pictures of Thanos in my dojo period.
Oh my god, this is too good. I gotta do this one. I don't know if this is from Extremis, but I'm not a big Iron Man fan, so I don't really know. But this picture is just beautiful. Sources, image. Oh, where is it?
I'll put it in the crew chat.
Okay. Oh, where'd it go? Save. Desktop. There it is. This one's so gorgeous.
Oh man, look at that stunning Tony Stark. So youthful, full of life, but still, tempered
Well, I
by
kind of want just this right here.
the
That
darkness
works.
of the world around him.
Yeah, that's the comic run. Yeah, that's very epic, dude.
That's what you want. Okay, what's the one Sam
Yeah, you can
wants?
tell the resemblance, the hair and stuff.
Group chat. Oh my god. Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll crop these later, make them look better. So it's just right now. This will do. It won't be pretty. Thanos. Boom. All right, there we go.
Boom.
All right, we did.
Oh, that's enough messing around. All right. I guess we can get the show on the road. You guys ready? You guys ready to
Yeah.
talk? You ready to do
Showtime.
this?
I haven't been this ready for an MCP show in a long time.
Tell me how you
I'm
really
actually
feel.
Is it an NCP show though?
It absolutely is right now. All right, I'm hitting the buttons.
I think it is this week.
Make sure you hit the live button. Okay, you guys ready?
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
I hit the wrong button, but I didn't hit record yet, so it's always like really good that I did that. All right, hit buttons.
We did it. We have enough hot takes. We don't need any more. No more opinions, no more hot takes. We've heard them all. We've had enough. No more. Isn't it awesome? Everyone can just shut up now.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Except it's not
Okay,
true.
except for it's not true. That's all we're gonna get. All right, let's do this.
That was true until
Perfectly
Saturday.
balanced, as all things should be.
Maximum effort. In this war, there's no surrender. He's out of line, but he's right. Who the hell is Bucky? You don't like a fair fight. I think you're wrong. Which part? All of it.
Think you're the only superhero in the world?
Touche.
Oh, now Sam's face is cut off. Well, welcome to the Rogue
you do
Agents
that to me?
podcast. I'm sorry. The Rogue Agents, a podcast about stuff. We're your hosts, Dizzard, Finger Guns, and Joey, and we're here for a good time and a long time. Apparently, this is gonna be a hot one. This is gonna be a real hot one. There's a lot of stuff.
Just
going
when
on.
you think you're out, they pull you back in.
So,
We all
I guess
got
first
hoodwinked.
thing. I guess first things first is thanks to the patrons who support us, and thank you for everybody who listens to us and continuing to keep us doing. I need to get rid of this thing. So somebody else talk for a minute because I can't stand this background over and over again. I can do this one.
We were trying to convince Dizzard to play tonight with us with this background of Colossus growing out of his head for basically the entire show. But apparently
Disappointing the fans.
it can't even
It's-
last like 3 minutes of it.
No, it's making me dizzy.
So fine.
How
How dusty are your Hellas, guys? So I'm just gonna throw this one right out there because that's the one that hit me the hardest. I had to dig
Hello?
for her today when I was digging through like the collection. I was like, where is she? She's black. It's dark in like the cupboard where she is. I'm looking for her and I'm just like, there she is. And I pulled her out and like I almost sneezed like when I looked at her. That's how dusty my Hella is. I posted a picture of like the before and after. I rubbed off half the dust from the base and like I was like, oh man. So if anybody's got any hot tips for dusting miniatures prior to finishing a paint job, I would love to hear those tips.
Mine's
'Cause,
Just use the magic eraser.
magic eraser.
No, don't do that.
She's got a little hair on her.
Oh, she was hella dusty.
She's hella dusty.
Yeah, so good. Sweet tea and coffee dropping a banger already.
Oh man.
Boom.
So I guess it's been a while since we did an episode. Do we want to touch on Nova, or do we just want to get into what everybody wants to actually hear right now?
Nobody cares about Nova anymore. Like that's old news.
Old news.
I mean, we can talk
fair.
about it. We'll be talking long enough, I'm sure. But like, let's
Alright.
get to the juice here. Let's get to the meat.
All right. Well, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do like a classic MCP podcast and just read cards? That sounds fun.
No, I think we should avoid that if it whenever possible.
There's like 22 of them.
I feel like that's going to be done to death over the
Let's
course of the
reread
next
over
10
every
days.
single one of them line for line.
All
We're
right.
here
All right.
for
How
hot
about
takes,
this? I
strong
think we had a
opinions, and
we had a
measured
question.
knowledge.
we had a question in the listener questions that I know we're gonna get to eventually, but I kind of want to just get to it right away. And where did it go? There's a lot of chat going on in there right now. It's kind of this is not gonna be a very organized episode for the record. If you want to say something in the chat
right.
and just talk, yeah. Where'd it go?
Yeah.
Okay, from
Why
accuser.
don't we start with listener questions?
Okay, let's just start. Okay, you want to start from the very beginning?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's just start with listener questions and just like knock these things out. Maybe we'll get some more by the end.
Okay. From Big Al. Finger guns pew pew. Are you playing in the next TTS season? If so, which league so I can get my revenge on you?
I took this one off for what that's worth.
Fair. All right.
I think that
Next.
the listener questions we want to answer are all after that.
Oh, okay. That's not what you want.
Sorry, Big Al.
Okay. From Laugh. Why is X-Force the best faction now? Because I fucking deserve it, okay? No.
I thought they've always been. What are you talking about?
Oh, man. Cams are off or blocked.
So people can finally see it now, right? That's the difference, right? The people can see it now. That the people can see that X-Force is the best.
It's apparent.
Yeah.
Right.
No, this is not anymore. To be completely honest, X-Force is I've played 5 games since yesterday. Day before yesterday, whatever.
I was curious if it was double digits yet. I was like, oh,
No,
man,
no.
here they came. They came out.
I
We
haven't-
played 5 games in one night.
15 games.
whatever. I played a little bit of different things, all involving Cable and Wolverine and Deadpool, and I do think X-Force is really good right now. They're extremely playable and competitively viable, but there's still issues.
Weren't they before them? I mean,
I tried for years.
He's pretty well with X-Force at Nova.
For 2
Nova's
games.
old news, remember?
That's right.
Nova's old news. But anyways, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say why is X-Force the best faction. But I think the biggest thing that we see is X-Force is now 100% like a good,
They got some
competitively viable.
Good hits.
They got real good hits. Like
Yeah, they got...
So you have to reroll in order to get the no cover?
yes.
that-
So I guess we
that's
could
what I
talk about
read.
that. I think that's something that's actually super interesting to talk about. Is let's
That's
talk about
interesting.
the Cable. Let's like all right, hit X-Force because X-Force. So
Yeah.
the biggest things is the leadership itself is now, you get a reroll once per turn. If you choose to do the reroll, if you're within range 3, you get to ignore cover, which is kind of big because almost all of X-Force attacks want to be within range 3. I think the only one that doesn't is Domino's Grenade Bounce, which you're just going for the Incinerate anyways, and Psylocke's Cybo. Deadpool now
hers ignores
has
cover anyway, doesn't it?
yeah, hers
Doesn't the
hers
grenade
does.
bounce
Yeah, the grenade
ignore
bounce
cover?
does ignore cover. You're not wrong. So there's that. Cable is just an absolute efficiency monster now. Speaking of being in range 3, his main builder gun went from a freaking 5-die pea shooter to a let me get within range 3 and reroll 2 dice, and now I'm rolling dice like Logan. That's kind of good, right? And then I have the X-Force leadership. That means I can reroll a skull if I use the leadership, and I'm within 3. So it's like you can essentially have a builder where you're rerolling 3, and one of those can be a skull. So it's like Cable's kind of efficient now. The biggest issue Cable has always had has been
Pretty decent.
like him being efficient and able to generate power, and that is not an issue anymore. I don't think I've done less than 3 damage with Cable on a shot. Like I'm probably like forgetting some here and there, and I'm only focusing on the pauses right now because I'm hyping him. But he's very much just like he hits hard, and then he throws big things. And I'm loving Cable right now. He's doing really, really good for me. Deadpool is super exciting. Wolverine is super exciting. Let me tell you guys this one. Let's talk about Wolverine real quick. Did you know that the best at what I do superpower now costs 2, and you could do any attack action? So that means you can best at what I do. So count wilds on your next attack action as double, which means you can no matter the cost berserker barrage.
That's right.
So you're rolling 7 dice
too
wilds,
bad.
I
count
like
2.
the expanded relationship between Wolverine and Cyclops, new Cyclops leadership, and Wolverine and old Korbach Steve leadership Avengers. Like that feels like we're finally
it's
at a
so
place
good.
where like the fluff of pairing Wolverine with one of them feels like you're making a decision that Wolverine would approve of, instead of, because he's getting something out of that relationship now.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, oh, like I gotta hang out with this dude
Yeah.
because they said I had to.
Something I find super interesting is there's a lot of like the X-Force server is very much Scott under Cable, or having Scott in the lineup so that way you could like splash over to X-Men if you wanted to. And I was very much like on this line too. I'm kind of off of it already, but we were calling it it's Summer's time. So I think it's fun. It's fun. It's good. But no, as far as X-Force's competitive viability, like I think they're there. I think they're still going to take some reps. I think that Cable actually feels good to play, which is like
Sure.
I want to play Cable under Storm. I want to play Cable under Scott. I want to play Cable in other places like under Avengers. Like under Avengers, he's freaking sick now. And I hate playing Avengers. So yeah, X-Force is not the best faction, I wouldn't say, but damn, are they freaking good. Sorry, I get excited, man. It's X-Force, and like they feel good. Like they feel so good.
It's a good feeling. It's good when the things you like are good.
Should I show the little clip that Victoria took the other day about the Colossus?
The
Probably.
real-time reaction. Your
The
real-time
real-time.
reaction to Colossus.
Yeah. Let me get this over here. Okay, so my wife was taking a video clip of me, and like Accuser was like, "Hey, Colossus has a range 3. His spinner's range 3," and I'm like, "Nah, that's not true." And then I went and looked at the card, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And this is literally like my reaction. I don't know. Let me pull this over here. I think I don't know how to do this the best way. So I can't see.
Damn, I missed that too. That's sweet.
Oh wait, show stuff? No. There's so much going on. Sorry, I'm not technically versed right now. That's what we want. Okay.
We can do this. This is quality. This is quality audio content.
Quality audio content for the podcast listeners. Like,
Hey guys, so
she's
we're
like,
just going to show a video that has no sound, and it's going to take us like 5 minutes to find it. It's going to be great.
no, I'm showing it right now.
Oh, you're the only person that can see it? Maybe?
Oh, the
I don't
Twitch
know.
people can see it.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
They can hear all the audio too.
Why do you look so surprised?
Oh
Like
man.
you just got X-slammed.
I basically did like Joey, did you see it? Like this is the beginning of it. Like this, like I was like
Yeah.
I found the
Yeah,
card and it was
that was
literally
good.
just like boom, like mouth just dropped. It's just like what the heck? Like what happened? Oh man. So yeah, that
So-
happened. Man. So exciting.
Where were you when the updates hit? Like, I guess.
I was
Where
drinking
was
coffee.
I
couldn't
was
stop reading on everything.
That's awesome. I
Macaroon.
I was doing bedtime for my children.
Maja
And,
Raccoon
I had,
says my face was the same way for all of the errata.
Dude, I was straight up hyped about every single thing that I read.
they did great. They
Yeah.
do great. These updates are great. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna like be too salty because they actually like came around and did it. But like,
Right.
I would have loved to have maybe had the baseline for this not be, we'll never ever 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 do this again. It's like, well,
Was that said?
Well, when they did the first
Oh
balance
yeah,
pass,
yeah.
they're like,
True.
"We'll never do this again," and it was just like, okay, well, I guess this is okay. Well, thanks for doing it.
This is how we
But,
play
like,
now.
Thanks for doing it again. And I get not wanting to do it often, but maybe like never ever ever again is maybe not the best answer, because
Yeah.
that
don't
made me
deal in
sad to
absolutes.
think that we would never do this again, because this is such a happy time
It really
when
is.
your game gets updated like this.
No, it's absolutely just amazing. Sorry, I'm breaking things. I guess we can move on to the next listener question. I feel like it's so hard to like stay on track because there's so much going on and it's hard to talk about
Yeah.
one thing.
When all else fails, just resort to the listener questions.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. All right, so why is experts best faction? From Sammy Two Pews with Dizzard's excitement level. This will probably be 60 to 70% of the show. Man, we're already there. All right, how about
I
this one
should
from
keep
Accuser?
a tally.
From Accuser, of all the character changes, which one will have the most impact on the meta? Let's go to Joey. Joey, what do you think will have the most impact on the meta?
Dang, that's a tough one. Because it's like it's bringing a handful that are like out of the woodwork that were not played. No, I wouldn't say not playable, but not widely used.
There you go.
And then it's also taking some that are widely used, and people are probably going to shy away from them. So I feel like it's hard to say at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly can't say. For me personally, I'll say straight out the gate, I'm hyped for Blade. Blade got that nice little boost. I was already pretty high on Blade, but that little boost was cool. And I'm honestly hyped about Colossus. I'm gonna start throwing him in the back in the Brotherhood. I haven't thrown him in my Brotherhood roster since 3 years ago or whatever. So
He's gonna be a hell of a criminal.
yeah, he's gonna be fun, man. So
Yeah, him under Kingpin
that's probably my
seems
biggest one.
super cool. Like you can't push me.
Right.
Oh no. Man, he's such a bully. Sam, who's your most impactful?
Well, it's got to be Thanos, right? Thanos is fair and balanced, and he's
Okay,
no longer a bully anymore.
Let's talk about this though. Do you
Please
do you
don't.
truly
He's mine
do you-
again.
do you truly think though that like this is like the most impact on the meta?
I think that people look at Thanos as a big bad. I mean, so like, let's look at like our kaiju, right? We got Malekith, we've got Thanos, we've got Hulk, OG Hulk. We've got Immortal, but like I don't have much table time with or against Immortal. Like he's a Sun's character in my opinion. Like he's good in a shell, but he doesn't really see a lot of play outside of that shell. So when I look at this is very impactful for me because the Malekith nerf really kind of puts him into the pierce change on Malekith is huge in my opinion because I've had so many rolls like with and against Malekith that when he doesn't get that pierce, he's just like it's just average defense. It's average offense versus like you get 3-4 hits on your 7 dice, and then your opponent gets like 2-3 blocks on their 3 or 4 dice, and that's just that. And you're just like dunk, like oh, you need your 7 threat dude to do more than 1 damage, and it didn't happen. So I think that's a big change. I think that the changes to Thanos make the splash Thanos a lot less appealing. The changes to the restriction on gems make splash Thanos more appealing again, or even like the Pocket Black Order, where you just bring like Thanos and 2 others. So I do think that this is impactful for the meta because it is putting a character that sees a lot of play and is kind of a lightning rod for people's feelings about the game. And they really like just kind of jumbled this mess up. And so I'm curious where the dust sandals here. I read Thanos. I read Thanos right as I said sandals. So as the dust settles on this, I'm curious how much we see just like the splash Thanos. I think that for the most part, a lot of Thanos plays, you weren't going to do more than 1 cosmic portal on a turn for a lot of turns. Probably not the first turn, probably not the second turn. You get into turn 3, 4, and 5. I think that's where you were seeing Thanos getting into the mix and doing a lot of stuff and either like using the power that he had on him to teleport things away or, like he can't do that anymore. Basically, you no longer get to do that. So now you're making like really more surgical plays with Thanos. To me, this feels more like when Drop Off got ditched.
Mhm.
Right, it's when they banned Drop Off, and the big like Black Order play of Proxima dropping off Corvus, and then like basically like it was people who lost Drop Off had to pivot to other things. Black Order had Mothership, so you immediately just pivoted to that, and basically it opened up in another like it opened a window where previously there was a giant gaping hole, but like you could still get in and you could do a play, and now it was something that you did better than a lot of other groups because anybody could bring Drop Off. And now it's like, well, if maybe we see less reality Thanos from this. So I do think it's a shakeup, but I think that the changes to the big boys do a couple of things. I think that it frees up some space for Dormammu. He did not get touched, right? And so now you've got Malekith coming down a peg. You've got Thanos in theory coming down a peg. Maybe that opens up some space for Dormammu play. And Hulk didn't change. So debatably Hulk is like the strongest of all these dudes.
he's like just flies under the radar for some reason. Well, too, I think too, like with the portals, with Thanos, Cosmic Ghost Rider can easily fill that role. Like if you were using Thanos for like portal stuff, you might as well just use CGR and incinerate him while you're at it.
Well, the thing that Thanos did, and he can still kind of do it, is he's basically just staggering your team. He was able to stagger your team, or if he was activating late in the round, he was able to, score you points. Right. And all Cosmic Ghost Rider is going to do is bring you into the blender, which is something that you probably want to do. Yeah. But there's also a lot of times with Thanos where you were just trying to push these characters away from sense. You. Yeah. Losing Patch Up and Med Pack was kind of a pretty big hit to that approach because, your health on Thanos was a pretty limited resource. As soon as they get close to him, he can actually melt pretty quickly. But I don't know. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's big. I think it's a big meta shakeup.
Okay.
Everybody want to watch the turn?
I got one that's gonna throw you guys for a loop.
All right.
I think one of the biggest impacts we're gonna see from this shakeup. Now, hear me out on this one. No, it's not. No, actually, to be fair, Cable's probably gonna be in a lot more places because he'll actually be playable. But my pick for this is actually Wong.
Dude, he's so sick.
Like he's so like now that he can support Strange, he's got actual defense dice now, so he doesn't just die to a fart. Like he's just like he's actually there. Like I'm telling you,
one defense die though. You got one defense die in his physical attack.
Well, yeah, he's rolling 3. He's rolling 3/3/3 now. Like he rolls more Strange.
Yeah, he was 2/3/3.
But the biggest thing is like a lot of reasons why I didn't take Juan before is like, oh, he just dies to like the stiffest wind. Like he just falls down. Like Juan doesn't do anything. And now I'm looking at Juan and I'm like I'm looking at Juan and some of the other combinations. And holy shit, like, cause I keep looking at stuff. I'm like, man, I kind of want R&D, kind of want patch up, and I'm like, well, Juan doesn't just die now. So like, yeah, he's still weak. He still like gets shot. But I feel like Juan will be on people's radars because he has a new card. And when people get a new card, people pay more attention to it. Like, I haven't thought of Juan in a list in I don't know how long. But now the fact that he has a new card, people are going to be like, maybe I should consider Juan in this list. And then it's all of a sudden like, holy crap, I have so much flexibility now because I added Juan. Adding a power or healing and not having to use card space for it is a huge boon. And the fact that he's 2 threat, like, that's massive. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot more Juan. It's like the man thing conversation. I wouldn't be.
There's gonna be a lot of Wongs.
I'm just typed to play Wong and Man Thing when that day comes.
That's fair. You're gonna play with your Wons and your Man Things. But honestly, I think Juan is up there for gonna impact a lot because you're gonna see a lot more of them. And I think Scott's huge. I think X-Men Blue is gonna make a big swing, and especially after the other X-Men stuff we saw that's coming, it's not gonna be long before X-Men are just like, this is the thing to beat, and there's not a whole lot of shit we can do to it. They're just really freaking good.
They're the Avengers again. Like, they're the Avengers now, I should say. Like, or they're going to be the Avengers from a year ago.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. Let's see. Sammy 2PU said, why is it Thanos? And then I said it's Cable. Why didn't from Big Al? Why didn't Colossus get a wild push trigger with his builder? I don't know. I don't know.
Why is a hard question to answer?
It's a
right?
legit
I mean,
question.
that's-
I mean,
So I've tried playing Colossus in like every single game since the update, and he's great to the fact of he's gonna sit somewhere and he's gonna get his shit rocked in over and over and over again. I had one game where it was middle of round 3 and Colossus was the only person on my team that had taken damage. Like that feels really good.
Damn.
Like that is and he's still alive too. It's like every attack I think it was like
Nothing to do with him.
every single attack except for like one had gone into Colossus. But now here's the thing is I'm investing 4 threat in order to get somebody who just eats attacks and then never has an opportunity to hit back. When he does hit back, he's not really hitting back hard unless you're doing X slam. So it's kind of a
which you might as
trade-off.
well anyways, it's cheap.
Yeah, you're gonna have the power. Like you might as well just stagger, try to get the stagger and do some damage.
Yep.
Like my biggest issue right now with Colossus is the fact that I think he's great. He does his job. And you can't have somebody who could hit like swinging hammers all day long and take hits all day long. That's just not good.
Mhm.
Steve. But I do think that like when I first read his card, I was like, oh my god, Colossus is amazing. And then the first couple of games, I was like, Colossus is amazing. The more I play him, the more I'm kind of like, Colossus is very situational. You're gonna play him on certain map shapes and certain teams. He has a very specific role because the thing is he's there to eat attacks. If I go into somebody like Webbs,
Yeah.
Colossus is just gonna be 4 threat of dead weight. Like he's not really eating a whole lot of attacks at that point. So I would warn people be
can't
smart.
Push, though.
He can't
That
be
feels
pushed, but
interesting against Webb.
but the thing about it though is like if he's there to eat attacks and he can't displace people and he's not very very mobile, he's not action efficient. That hurts into Webs. I'd rather take Psylocke and Wolverine, for instance. But it's like I think when we look at Colossus, I think he's a great example of yes, this character's got a really good glow up and he's really good now. But we also got to find where are the situations I don't want to play a character like this. Find out what his role is and his job is. He's a tool. Like he's straight up a tool for a very specific purpose, and that is to get his shit rocked in and to make sure nobody else does. And he does that very, very, very well. Like, but I think that's honestly why Colossus didn't get a wild push. To answer the question, this is why he didn't get a wild push or no character displacement. Is like every game I've played Colossus in, he just eats everything. And so like if Colossus was able to eat all the attacks and be able to like control the board state, that just feels really bad. Like that's a big complaint that people have about certain characters. Like this character feels like they can do everything. So that's kind of what it is. You guys have any thoughts?
I think Big Al probably likes Colossus a lot, and nothing would ever be good enough. He could have
I'm
that wild
hyped.
push, and it still wouldn't be enough. He'd be like, "Why wasn't there a character throw?"
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think he's great, man. The spender, dude. I just realized this spender was range 3. That's
That's
awesome.
no, like literally
That's
that
even better,
video. That video we were talking about Colossus in the chat, and
Yeah.
Accuser was like, "Yeah, and that range 3 spender," and I was like, "Oh, that must be a typo." And then I looked at the card, and I was like, "Was this always range 3?" And I looked at the old card, and then I looked at the new
No.
card, and then I was just like,
Dude,
Like,
yeah,
oh my
that was
God.
huge, dude.
"Like
I
it's
can't
so
believe-
big."
Speaking of typos, how about me and a buddy of mine were talking about Ronan.
Ronan? Yeah.
Yeah. 0 cost spender. I was like, what is this?
They fixed that
It's
quick.
actually a 10 cost spender, right?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
they?
They forgot the
What
one.
was
Yeah,
the
they
actual
fixed
cost on
it.
it?
I think it's 3 still. I didn't.
Okay.
I just heard it got
Yeah.
fixed. I didn't see the fix, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 still. I don't think it got an increase. Or
I
a
was
decrease.
I was honestly surprised that Ronan got a glow
Oh, it
up.
costs 4.
Like,
It costs 4.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of
4.
games with Ronan where like he feels fine. Like he,
I was talking to Omnis, and he was like,
was
"Why
surprised by
did
that
Ronan get a? Why did Ronan get more health? Like he didn't need it. Like this is he's a 4 threat with
Ronan's a
14 health
beast.
now. He's at 7-7, right? Or he's 7-6? No,
That
he's at
felt-
7-7.
7-7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of felt like the Valkyrie when Valkyrie got touched in the first pass, where it was like, wow, like Valkyrie actually hasn't been much of a problem for a while, but
Yeah.
all right. And this is like, well, like people haven't actually complained about Ronan being bad for a while, but all
Okay.
right.
Like yeah, I'm very much just like I'll take an extra health
I mean-
on Ronan. Like let's go.
For sure. Guardians needed the help, right?
Plus with the Inhumans, yeah, I was gonna say.
No,
he's gonna
I mean,
be
let's talk
back in
Inhumans,
action.
right? Because that's a fun one. Like that
Yeah.
is, I'm curious to see what Inhumans do right now because that is, like, Amazing Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
the combination of the Amazing Spider-Man, Ronin, and Black Bolt glow ups make me very curious to see what some Inhumans jank looks like.
Yeah, they were already sick. I think they were super slept on. I just played a game Saturday against Spencer, my buddy Spencer. He just joined up too, but yeah, he's awesome. I ran Claw for the first time, and I was we were trading
Okay.
blows. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Claw's a menace too. That was the first time I've ran him, and he did not keep damage on him. It was great.
His heal and his like push ability when you land
crazy.
next to him.
But
Like,
Black
that's-
Bolt, man, he bangs now. He's in it. He's awesome.
I like that they took away his ability to like boost offensive dice, right? So now it's only defensive dice, but then they just made
He
the
doesn't
actual
need
attack better.
it. He doesn't
Well,
need
he's
No,
not
no,
a
they
it.
made the attack better.
He,
He's got a
the attack
bodyguard.
is so freaking good. I was playing against somebody earlier today, and I 100% underestimated Black Bolt. He rocked my world. Like he's like, I'm gonna royal decree up Black Bolt, and I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care. But it's Black Bolt. He ain't gonna do shit to me. Like he's on his healthy side. I don't care about Black Bolt.
Surprise!
Surprise! Like I'm just gonna one shot everybody. Like what the hell is going on over here? And then the fact that he just like Sweet Tea and Coffee said earlier, like, oh, where was it? I had Black Bolt right behind Beta Ray Bill and Medusa, feeding them power and still getting a double tap with his energy bolt while keeping them alive with the bodyguard that only costs 1.
Yep.
And he can also reroll, and he can boost his defense dice. Like Black Bolt is a freaking monster right now. Like, oh my god! Like, let me get like
He's
to be
definitely
fair,
5 threat, that's for sure.
man, it's so good. People are getting rocked by Daredevil and Black Bolt. What a time to be alive! You're not wrong, Steven Swayze. You're not wrong. I was playing a game, and I was like, I am playing Cable under Scott's leadership with Colossus, Deadpool, and Wolverine. What is happening? And it felt good. Like it felt good.
Deadpool
That's the
is
best
awesome.
part. Black Bolt getting 2 power and Master Punch now only costing 3 makes it so easy to get off. Yeah, like Black Bolt's just, man, like anybody who wants to play Inhumans, like this is the time to play Inhumans. Like Black Bolt feels good.
And
Medusa's still
Defender in the
solid.
back is insane too.
Yeah, Whisper just
Yeah,
kills
she doesn't go
things.
anywhere.
Yeah, Medusa. That's the best
And
part
nice.
is like people talk
So
about
good.
like nobody talks about Medusa's like she like yeah she doesn't hit her trigger as often, but she's still fine. Like I was talking to Sooner earlier, and he's like the only issue with Medusa is she just dies a little bit. Like that's her only issue. But that's always been her thing. She hits hard, but she dies easy. But no, Inhumans are super interesting, especially with like Terrigenesis. Like that got pulled on me
Yep.
because Black Bolt just kills
Awesome.
shit now. It was just like and I'm gonna pull Terrigenesis. like Black Bolt attacked Cable and like he did 6 damage, and I was like, well, thank God for that extra health I got and Terrigenesis. I'm like, oh well, fuck me. Like because he had no more actions. I was like great. Not only do you get 2 VP, but my extra health is now invalidated. It was good though. It was
Boom.
good. Like Inhumans are in a good spot. X-Force is in a good spot. Cyclops is in a great spot. All the mutants are looking real shiny and good right now. What else? Oh, Wanners. Defenders got a second leadership. They are no longer in the land of only a 5 threat leader.
Dad.
Yeah.
So
Daredevil's
man,
pretty cool too, man. Daredevil is pretty cool.
I feel like,
I like
a
it.
Defender's Hulk under a Daredevil leadership is gonna create
It's gonna
some
be sweet.
really interesting situations for people to make bad decisions in.
Yeah, now I gotta buy that box. That's like one of I don't have the Daredevil box yet.
I have the Daredevil box.
I think a lot of people are saying that right now.
Who came
He
with
comes Bullseye,
Daredevil?
right?
Bullseye.
That's okay. Yeah, so that's
Bullseye,
why
yeah.
I got the Daredevil box for Bullseye.
I had a 3D printed
Yep.
Bullseye, and the Bullseye card came in the card pack, so I never even bought the box.
That's fair.
Now,
Well,
touche, AMG, touche.
you got me. Get him.
Oh man, what else got an update? What else was out there?
Taskmasters was small but cool. Got the
Right.
power
You got
for
the
the
shield
shield
throw.
throw.
I mean, when the last
Yeah.
balance pass
Quality of life.
happened, like when the last balance pass happened, it was very much like, okay, so all the shield throws are the same except for Taskmaster, who's supposed to be copying this shield throw. So like, what's going on with this? So it's nice to see him
He just
actually
hadn't
get
fought
that.
him
Yeah.
yet. He hadn't fought him with the new abilities. He didn't understand it.
Oh, and then
Oh, yeah.
Bucky,
man. Lord.
Bucky's little
Lord,
nerf.
dude, Jesus.
So this is good. Like let's not lie.
I don't
about
think
this
it's
at
going to
all.
be that big of a deal, though.
No, I don't think so
I-
either.
That's
I
like the
hate
only
wild
thing that got
triggers
changed.
personally. Like wild triggers are one of my I don't want to say like least favorite parts of the game. I mean like literally like wild triggers are just like
If I need it, so I'm not going to
Am I
get
gonna
it.
get this? Am I gonna get this? Am I gonna get this? I'm not gonna get this. I really need it, so I'm not gonna get it. I could barely use it. I absolutely get it every single time. Like that's what wild triggers are in this game for me. So him going down to a wild, like it drops the percentage by like half, right? Like
Yeah.
now it's a lower chance to get your rapid fire. He feels a lot more like the character that he was, I think now. But I think you still have to like respect him.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you don't, you're just gonna get dropped on. But if you
Well-
do respect him, then like he's gonna carve out a large area of the board.
I just feel like the issue is going to be is it's going to have the nerf syndrome where like, oh, this character got a nerf, he's unplayable now. Not
Yeah.
this character got a nerf, he's still extremely playable, he's still very good. There's so many people that I've talked to that are very much like, well, Taskmaster is the way to go, and it's like Taskmaster barely got a change. Like I don't. It doesn't make sense. Like people are just like flocking to Taskmaster now because his shield throw and Bucky got a slight nerf. So it's kind of like, is it really
I mean,
necessary?
You just throw stuff at Taskmaster. That's throw stuff
Yeah.
at him. Move
Right.
him away. Like Bucky is. So the other thing to keep in mind here, right, is that like new Captain America from the core box is
Yeah.
going to give Bucky a rapid
Yeah, he get
fire
automatic
action.
wild. Like, here we go. Oh man.
blah, blah.
What about
Blah blah blah.
what about Black Cat? What do you think about Black Cat's changes?
She doesn't count crits anymore, right? Like you don't get to count your.
Yeah,
crits.
you don't get to
Crits
count crits
and
into her.
skills in
Like,
action.
you don't get to blow up crits. It's
Oh,
like she's
that's
so hard to kill. You don't get to reroll into her,
Yeah.
and you don't get to blow up your crits. I had a Wolverine going into Black Cat. I rolled like 2 crits and a wild, and I did like 2 damage. And I was like, this should have been like a dead Black Cat. But no. Like X-Force reroll, nah, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
And she's staggering.
And she's just
And she's
like,
way more of a stagger bot now. I think
she's
Yeah,
way
she
more of a
was.
stagger bot,
And-
but
That's what I would imagine.
she still steals. But I think what's cool about her though is you could very easily see Black Cat do her steal and be stuck in combat, but she can survive that combat
Mhm.
now.
Right.
And I think that's
Yeah,
the cool part, and
that
where
might
it's
be too good,
okay.
but I'm curious.
It's
see,
all
we'll
right.
see.
It's all right. She still dies. It's just
I feel like
harder.
you're gonna take the steal's like a bonus. I feel like at this point with the change, you're gonna do what you're gonna do with Cat, and then if you get the opportunity to steal, then cool, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, like any steal like that on a character card should feel like a bonus, don't you think? Instead of just being like, "This is what this character does." This character just makes your gameplay just.
Well, I agree, but at the same time, Cat, like that's literally her thing. She's a burglar, so.
Yeah, no,
I
you're
mean,
not
her
wrong.
being able to do it the way
but-
she did it, I feel like was fine.
But now
either
she
way,
could do it. Now she could steal and then take a hit from one of the most killing models of the game, and be fine.
I still feel like they should have gave her wall crawler, but I guess that's another topic.
Did they give her a wall card? They
I
didn't
think
give
they
her a
just
wall
don't
card.
want her to have that. She's got grappling hook, right? So her
Oh,
thing is
that's
like
right,
she just
yeah.
like shoots up on top of the building. She doesn't actually have any way to
She's
climb up the wall.
she's running along right alongside Pete in the movies and shows, man. I feel like she should have wall crawler. Ain't no different than Matt Murdock.
Okay, you got a point there.
And he's blind, so
And he's swinging on a little cane rope, so.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Trim
No,
the cat.
I dig Cat, man. I think she was always good.
Trim the cat says the big thing is Cat can't go from the far D's and then steal. I think that's huge. Like she can't just show up out of nowhere
Mm-hmm.
and then just steal and get away at the same time. I think that's
Right.
what was bad. So yeah, that's just I don't know. I like the change. I think it's good.
That's why you play Face Me against her.
Yeah. come on.
Come on back.
What do you guys think about good old Dr. Doodoo?
Well, what about Voodoo? Yeah.
I thought his was a super legit change too, man.
So
I
like
use the
see,
hell out of it,
as a Suns player, like somebody who like plays Suns very
Mhm.
competitively, like does this hurt your game plan at all, or do you think it's a fair balance pass?
I think it's totally legit.
I think a lot of these changes make these characters less splashable, which I think
That's
is like,
that's fair.
by
Yeah,
and large the correct decision. I
Yep.
love it
me
because
too.
like
So
I
that-
feel whether or not it's true, I feel like I see less splash Thanos, less
Mhm.
splash
Mhm.
Malekith, less splash Voodoo, and like that. It's not that these characters shouldn't show up in other teams, but
Right.
it's like they're
You should
also
show
like
every team.
they're huge characters. Like, maybe not like Voodoo, like he's not like the most popular character, but like
Right.
almost all of these other characters have some level of popularity that's like people like them, and so they want to play them, but they're not characters that get around very much
Right.
in like comic books. Like Thanos is not exactly showing up in every comic book to be like, "Hey, I'm here to work with your team now," you know. And neither is Voodoo. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Voodoo change makes me like basically want to look in other directions.
Yeah.
I think that with Bump, he's still like everything that he ever was, right? Because you're still looking at throwing people and doing stuff. Like the only thing you're not doing is dropping Daniel on people to prevent them from securing now, and you can't
Right.
throw size 3 terrain anymore. And like that's literally what I was asking him to do when I was playing with him.
Yeah, he had a lot going on. I am kind of surprised that they took the superpower throw off all the way. It's just in the attack now. That was kind of different for me.
So
Not in a
Holy
bad way.
Holy Mackinac says, I think we did a great job. I was hoping to see a small tweak to CGR and Sentinels, but we got what's fantastic. I wasn't really expecting a change to CGR just because they've said in the past that they want stuff to like get its time to settle into the meta. And I personally like, yeah, CGR can be annoying to deal with, but I don't think CGR is
Mhm.
anywhere near Malekith levels or like old
No.
Thanos levels. I don't think it's like I would have rather seen a change to Red Skull than CGR, if I'm being completely honest.
Same. That one surprised me too. That he wasn't
Yeah.
in it.
But Sentinel's not getting a little buff. That one I don't really understand. Because everybody knows Sentinels
Especially
need a little
how
help.
good X-Men are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys will not even touch Thanos anymore.
Like,
Yeah,
they're
I
just
really-
gonna, like I feel like that's the demo game now, right? It's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring
Sentinels.
my Sentinels and my X-Men. I'm gonna give you my X-Men and be like, all right, let's play this Saturday morning stuff. You're gonna
Saturday
have a
morning
blast.
cartoons.
That's
Gambit
Just
knocks
play-
him
we're
all
gonna
the way
have
over
a
with a
very
card.
good time.
Holy Mackinac, just play Gene. Just go play mutants with Gene. Then multi-pull CGR doesn't matter. Like you're fine.
There you go.
That's fine. Sentinels will get a buff with Nimrod, right? I don't know. I heard about they had mentioned Nimrod with Forge or something like that during one of the panels, which I'm all about Forge.
be
So if
rad,
this
yeah.
is
Forge-
if this
Forge
is
would be
like something
sweet.
coming, then I'm like, wow. I didn't because I wasn't able to watch a lot of the streams. So, and somebody had told me that during one of the panels they mentioned Forge and Nimrod, and I was like, wow, like I'm for it.
Ooh.
All right. So I guess here's a question for you guys. In the list building that you've done since they put out this update list, have you noticed that you're playing more affiliated? Because I have. I am like running 90% affiliated now. Versus before I was probably running 60 to 70.
Yeah, I've always kind of played as much affiliated as I can. I kind of limited myself. I think I spoke about this before, but I kind of limit myself. Like I don't put bad guys and good guys mixed. But I do try to keep it as affiliated as possible, and then just kind of throw in. I usually try to 3 is like the sweet spot for me for slash characters unaffiliateds. and
Yeah.
that seems to work pretty well. But I mean, this kind of honestly, these changes help me keep it even more affiliated, I guess. So far, all the stuff that I've been toying around with.
Yeah.
But
What you, Sam?
I bring almost all affiliated models when I play like casual games. So like right now, like I want to try. I'm gonna do some Black Order. That's gonna be like all 8 of the Black Order people, and then probably Gamora and Nebula, and I'm just
Nice.
gonna play with that, and that's gonna like so like in that respect, yes. In I think that, but I'm also like I occupy different space than like there's a lot of mutants in the game. There's not a whole lot of like Midnight Suns and stuff like that, but like you have like a pretty well defined affiliation. You basically have to bring all those dudes in a roster to like have the flexibility that you need. Like I've got like expensive people, and I've got some like really good and some really bad affiliated models, and so I love playing thematic and casual rosters, but like so far as like what I'm looking at doing right now, I'm not really more affiliated than I was. Like I dropped Malekith for Ebony Maw, so I guess I am more affiliated than I
damn,
was.
look at you go.
Um, Holy Mackinaw in the chat. I don't doubt that I missed it, but I'm sure that Diz is super happy with the cable changes. I keep getting asked in different chats, like how does Dizzard feel about the cable changes in X-Force now? And then I just respond with a gif of Forrest Gump running and the brace is falling off of his legs. That's how I feel about the cable changes in X-Force and all that. It's very much. I'm so happy, man. No doubt. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next question. Let's see. From Automatic, who will be the best X-Men Blue Splash? Why are you splashing X-Men Blue? All the X-Men are just amazing right now. Like,
I mean,
like,
that is kind
man.
of a
Dynamo's
yeah,
always
a
good.
statement right now.
No, I
feel
Dynamo's
like you can
interesting.
almost just go all X-Men with those guys.
No, I think so too. I've been working with X-Men Blue for a little bit, and like I said, like I'm looking at 9. Like there was one list that was 10 out of 10 mutants, and then like it's just so easy to go that way right now. I would say with Scott's leadership, anybody with a beam is probably really spicy. Because that's just
So
like
Vision,
Dynamo, Logan.
yeah.
Even though it's not really a splash, but man, like
Oh God, Dynamo, that's miserable. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, shock beams,
Yeah.
Miserable.
giving
Shock
power to my
beams.
team.
yeah, that's so big. I'm trying to think of like what like I honestly don't think that I feel like Scott really wants Jean, but I also think Cable's actually really cool under Scott at the same time.
I was really I was debating that too on that quick.
Are you just running the Summers family? at
Just
this
run the
point?
Summers family, yeah. Like run the Summers
And then you bring
family,
Wolverine too, right? At 18,
and then you
just
bring
say this-
Wolverine.
this
You bring
behind us too.
Wolverine, and then you now have the card Jean is actually playable and actually really good. Like, not
gotta
only
say
are
that,
you
dude.
like somebody takes Jean out, well now Wolverine gets to go and or Scott and attack somebody, as well as if they do damage, you're gaining power off of that attack now because the leadership doesn't say round, it says turn. So that means on attacks during my opponent's turn, I'm getting power off of. Like man, it's so spicy.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of everybody playing all these mutants because like I can't join you there. I love mutants. I'm not a mutant hater. In fact, I love mutants a lot more than I think some people who are going to play a lot of X-Men do. My issue is that if I show up to mutants like to a game night, I will play X-Men Mirrors all night long.
Just play X-Force.
I don't. Nope. It's not. It's all the same characters. I don't care what label you put on it.
But that's
fine.
honestly.
I just can't. I can't cross that bridge.
I mean, that's honestly a true statement of like there's going to be a lot of mutant mirrors for quite a while. I think it'll settle down eventually, and then those people that are like playing Inhumans are going to be like, "Yo, dog, like check out my Black Bolt."
It's gonna feel thematic, right? Because we're gonna have like some crazy like Avengers, Inhumans, X-Men like meta.
Yeah,
it's gonna coincide with Axe or whatever it was.
Axe, man.
Last year.
That was good. That was a good line.
I mean, we need those. We need Eternals in the game, but
I'd be for that. Another one
Balancing's
from
another affiliation,
Matomatic.
baby.
Another one from Matomatic. What will be the best Defenders Dual affiliation under Daredevil? If Daredevil's the leader that you're focusing on, what would you pair with it?
Convocation.
Combo?
I
That's
think
fair.
that the first thing that I'm looking at for Defenders is going to be basically like two Stranges, Daredevil, and then Wong,
Hulk.
probably a Hulk, and then flesh it out from there. Like probably Luke Cage and Danny. Like I feel like that's just going to like basically build itself.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. And Sons would be a great.
Yeah,
mix.
Sons is another one.
I mean, there's a bunch of
Sons,
cross affiliated there too.
Webs, Avengers. There's so many options.
Webs would be,
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, you're going to build Convocation to like be the objective Convocation.
Yeah.
Like where you're
Right.
you're actively trying to do very aggressive objective plays, and using the Convocation leadership to keep yourself safe. And against teams where you don't think that you can do that, or setups where you can't do that, you're going to be like, all right, well, here's Daredevil. Watch, like, let the rerolls commence.
All right. Accuser. Are Defenders viable, or do they need affiliation defining cards? I think they're 100% fine. Because I've been seeing some people play with
That list,
pentagrams
the
again.
character list.
The character list is great. But like pentagrams with Juan now being played a lot, you're playing pentagrams fairly early and jamming Wolverine through a pentagram portal, and then no matter the costing of a Berserker Barrage and
Yep.
all this random crap, like there's like, I wouldn't say pentagrams is back to its glory day, but like pentagrams is like still viable, just in different ways.
No, it's a mid late game card now, right? And
Yeah.
because like people were playing pentagrams, and like there was viability to the extra wide Defenders team, right, where you just played a pentagram off of Wong at some point, and like that was already like, like a B minus squad, right? Like you could show up to a game night, have a blast with it. You could show up to an event and do well with it. It just didn't play itself. It didn't build itself. It didn't play itself on the table like some things do. So I think that's definitely the case, because now you have a leader to chalk into that mix. Like that feels great. Absolutely.
Holy Mackinac says, I think that we're going to be seeing affiliation cards a lot less as the game goes on. Character cards are the direction the game seems to be going. They are easier to balance as well. I agree with that to a point, because we saw the spoiler for what Xavier's Dream, which is affiliated X-Men, and that card is freaking nuts. So it's like, I think they're still going to be around. And it makes certain affiliations feel kind of bad, like Defenders, X-Force, A-Force. Like,
I want to see more character and affiliation lock
Yeah.
cards.
but they've been doing that. They've
That's the space.
been doing a good
Malekith,
job
like,
of it.
The Black Bifrost is that?
Yeah,
Like that's good job.
like character
Thumbs up
affiliated
for it.
cards. I like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
It's like you can bring this character. Like I wish Heroes for Hire was Defenders locked.
I agree.
No way. It
No,
gotta be
yeah,
Sons too.
Okay, fine. I'll give you
Okay.
the Suns, but Avengers, it's got like no business. Zero business in Avengers.
It's a Heroes
Those guys
for
are
Hire,
busy
man.
protecting the world. Like
They're
yeah,
heroes
Avengers, though.
for hire.
Yeah, and they're busy being Avengers.
All right, from Big Al. From Big Al, since no Brotherhood characters were affected, does that mean that they are the most balanced team? Accuser responded, Colossus is offended. Joey responded, gasps in metallic, and then there's a bunch of gifs of chrome spray paint being put on people's mouths.
Witness
but,
me.
But real talk though, talking about Brotherhood, does that mean they're the most balanced team? Colossus got a buff. I think Brotherhood are fine. I don't think there's like any issues, and I think this has been commonly said throughout like the community that Brotherhood has always been pretty good. Like
They've
they don't
been a
really.
consistently solid
Yeah.
affiliation.
I
played a
agree with
ton
this
of them.
statement. I think the Brotherhood's basically fine.
Yes.
And like if Brotherhood is the baseline for like you must be this tall to ride this ride for MCP, I think that the game's in a great place.
Definitely agree.
Because they're a balanced team. They can they can build to be close to, if not the best, in like every game mode, right? So you've got like
Right.
real good objective teams, you've got really good control teams, you've got a really good attrition team, and like they're not the apex predator in like any of those categories.
They
But
have
they're
the
better
apex
than like
predator.
everything except for the apex predator in that category. So
Yeah, they're super versatile, man. They and plus too, like every one of their affiliated characters is great. They're like a self-contained. All their tactics cards that come with them are good. I mean, Brotherhood's
Yeah.
awesome, and they're one of the affiliations too. It says, Holy Mackinac said it's competitive without feeling oppressive, because it's not like you're not gonna field a Brotherhood roster and it's just gonna play itself. You still have to know how to play the game.
Yeah.
But they do have a ton of options, which I think is awesome.
Maybe that's what I'll play for a little bit.
Brotherhood.
Since
You
nobody
should.
actually likes playing
That'd
against
actually be true. Yeah, everybody else is playing X-Men. You just go Brotherhood. Like, let's go.
Yeah. Like, this feels all right. Magneto was right.
Magneto was always right. All right, from Plucky Ronzo. With the new Wolverine getting a buff, is he better than Logan? I have some math here that a friend of mine
those
had.
fighting words.
I have a friend of mine who he did up some math of comparing Logan versus Wolverine. And this is actually super, super interesting. I will state, first of all, I think there are certain places where you want to play Logan over Wolverine. I think in X-Force specifically, you want to go
Where he's
Wolverine.
affiliated.
Yeah, I think you want to go Wolverine.
I think affiliation matters, right?
yeah.
Fastball special is not a joke.
Fastball special is not a joke. Brace is going to be everywhere if it wasn't already, because everybody's going to be afraid of all the X-Men players and X-Force players playing fastball. But some math. Let's talk about.
Wolverine got to get some air.
No, it has to be.
Dang it.
Yeah, because it's the naming.
It's not James Logan Howlett. It's
Yeah.
Logan.
Yeah,
the
something,
Wolverine.
it's
All right.
something like that. So pre-nerf Malekith. This is like a baseline just to have comparison levels. Pre-nerf Malekith drops to 22% against a reality Thanos. So sorry. Pre-birth Malekith is 22% to one-shot a reality Thanos. X-Force Wolverine, so Wolverine under X-Force, is at 9%. Like, I guess, like, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you're comparing what Malekith can do to a reality Thanos to Wolverine under X-Force only being, what, 13% under Malekith before this balance pass, that's kind of big. But here's some more things, is Logan into reality Thanos with his rerolls live is only at 3%. So Wolverine in X-Force has a 9% chance to one-shot reality Thanos. Logan has a 3% chance. And then we were like comparing it to like
And
was
this
it
is
like
'cause of the
who's
wilds, the double counting
Yeah.
wilds.
basically, because this is taking into consideration that you're going to be
That's the difference maker.
yes, a difference maker, because it's too easy to charge with a Berserker Barrage. Because as if you can get him one power, no, he only
He hasn't done that
as,
attack though. He doesn't roll wilds when you do it.
what?
So you
No,
guys
I
have done
didn't
that
hear you.
attack though, right? Like you know he doesn't roll wilds when you do that attack though.
That's fair.
Like when you do that, he just doesn't roll wilds.
Not
Yeah,
when
goes
you
back
have
to
a
the
shit
Bucky
ton of rerolls going on. Anyways,
If he's going to someone with like one health left, absolutely, he's gonna get like all wilds in the roll. You'll be like, hell yeah, it happened. We did
It
the
happens.
thing.
but some more math right here was we were looking at who's like the chonkiest like 4 threat. We basically decided to use Bill as like the baseline. And X-Force Wolverine has a 33% chance to basically down like one round Bill. If Bill
Are these
doesn't have
specifically
power.
X-Force numbers with the leadership
Yes.
reroll?
Yes,
Like
these
the-
are all because
okay.
that way there's a common denominator there. Like if I just said Wolverine in X and Logan not in X, so under X Force, Wolverine has a 33% chance. If Bill has no power, if Bill has a power, he's got a 21% chance to 2-tap Bill. Logan respectively has a 29 and a 16% chance. So essentially, X Force Wolverine has a higher chance of taking out characters because of the double roll wild. The biggest thing that comes from this is the fact that if you can feed a power to Wolverine, so Scott, R&D, or my boy Wong, feeding Wolverine a power.
He's your boy now.
He's my boy now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, he
Oh,
is my boy
man.
now.
God,
As of
wrong,
about
hater.
an hour and a half ago, Juan's my boy. Literally, I just put him on my list about an hour and a half ago. after looking at it and someone talking to me and saying, "Yo, what about this character?" And I was like, "I haven't looked at Juan in forever." And then I started looking at it. I'm like, "Holy shit!" Because Juan feeding the power to Wolverine means that I can cat and mouse Wolverine. I can best at what I do. For the free power that I got. And then I'm literally almost on the center objective, which means I can, no matter the cost now, Berserker Barrage somebody counting wilds as double successes. It's kind of scary. The fact that he can Berserker Barrage is the best of what I can do. It's nuts. So I would honestly say, looking at this, if you're playing X-Force, I 100% think you should be playing Wolverine, not Logan. Your odds of downing characters are higher, and you're not reliant on positioning to get the most out of that character. And that's the biggest thing, is I don't have to like put Wolverine in a very specific spot to get his maximum like output. Logan, I have to make sure I'm in certain spots and pay attention to my positioning to get maximum output. So I don't have to worry about positioning in that regard. I have to worry about positioning, just not that in depth. And I have already a better output. So in X-Force, Wolverine beats Logan. In X-Men, I'd argue Logan beats Wolverine 100%. I truly think that. So overall, I'm happy with it because I want to play X-Force. And yeah.
Dude, if you're a Wolverine fanboy, this is a very great moment because now you can run both Wolverines in whatever you're running. And like they have slightly different toolkits. They both feel like Wolverine. So like just throw them out there and have some fun.
Absolutely. All right. Next question from Accuser. Was the Infinity Gem change good? And you guys talking about grab a beer.
Was it good? Was it good, Joey? Was it good for you?
I'm not gonna lie.
It's
I
good.
missed it. I didn't even catch the change.
So they took the gems off the restricted list.
Oh, really?
So they unrestricted gems. I was hoping for Unbound. Right, as soon as I heard that, like people were like, "Oh, they're unrestricted," I was like, "Are they unbound? Can they count as roster slots again?" No.
Yeah, that'd be a lot easier for squad building, but no, I miss those days. It's cool. I like it. I didn't even notice it, honestly. I didn't notice it got changed.
So
you know who is
the things that it does? Me, I'm really excited about it.
Barn Cat.
But you go ahead. Space Maw's back, baby.
Space Maw's back.
Only if space isn't on Thanos, but sure. So, I mean, this is what I think unrestricted gems do. They let Black Order like actually play the game again, which feels really good to degenerates like me. The people who are more degenerate than me and just like want the absolute best of the best of the best, I think that this is a I don't know. Like, I don't know how this is going to break. Like, is this long-term healthy for the game? I sure hope it is, because this feels really good for me and what I like to do. But for just like bringing a 3-man splash, right? So like you can basically bring in Black Order as 3 models, Mothership, and maybe 1 or 2 tactics cards. And like that's the tax for bringing them into whatever. So if you're an affiliation that's a little bit light on roster slots, like you're like, oh, I just play like these like 5-6 characters, I don't know what to do with the rest of my roster, then you've got you can bring in this Black Order splash that basically gives you an incredible attrition plan for a very low buy-in. And so I think that that's a little scary, because I think that that's not something people like to play into, right? Which is like something that I harp on all the time. It's just like, you know, you want to have a game that's fun for both players. And as someone who plays an affiliation that is not fun for both players more often than not, I feel that pain like very succinctly. So I don't know if like seeing Black Order everywhere is good for the game, but not good for the game. Good for the health of the people that you want to see on a regular basis. You know, like it if people aren't having fun playing the game, then the chances that they come back next week are lower.
Are going to be a lot smaller.
What do you think, Dizzard? Did you get your beer?
Yeah, I sure did. I think it's good. I like it. I think it opens up a lot of characters that got shunned for just being a gem bearer before. Like Reality Corvus is back on the table. Smaw is back on the table. That's really it. Like that's like the biggest ones that come to mind is Small and Reality Corvus. Like they got a big hit to them when gems got restricted because it's like if I want to play Corvus with Reality, well now I don't get Brace or something else, and if I'm playing Black Order, Thanos is hurt. So it really created a lot of like constrictions on roster creation, and now those are kind of just like have all the gems you want.
I mean, I don't love the idea of just space reality Thanos with a patch up to back him up. Like
That's what I was gonna say.
showing up everywhere.
And he's gonna be just as splashable. You're just gonna play him different.
Right? Because like that's even easier than Black Order. You're just like, what if I just bring space reality Thanos? But I mean, one portal once per turn is nowhere near as oppressive as
all of them.
Space up to you. I teleport you to me. I punch you twice. I kill this guy. I glut with power. I rearrange the board however it like suits me. And then we move on. So now, everything's a lot more.
But now you can play Black Order, and if somebody cries about you playing Black Order, you could just say, "Do you want me to go back to Thanos from like 2 weeks ago?" I can.
Rewind it a little bit. Watch
because when I'm trying to get people to come back, right? That's the tack
fair.
I like to take. I like to just shove their nose in it.
That's what you do, man. That's just what you got to do.
I mean, I'm all for drinking in the sweet tears of people, but like, I just think that I almost wish that they wouldn't have unrestricted the gems so that I could just continue to carry this cross and be like, so now like no one can complain about me playing Black Order anymore, right? Because
you still can.
I could just not take restricted cards, right? Like I feel like no. This is my life.
All right, so that kind of covers it up for.
I think that the gems shouldn't be on the restricted list.
I agree. That covers it up pretty much for the questions we had on the Discord. If anybody in the chat here has any questions, feel free to ask them. I guess I have a question. How about this, Joey? Do you have a question you want to ask us or the listeners?
Yeah, you'll have to come back to me on that one.
Sam?
I have some notes.
Sam.
I got one for the group, right? So the last time we had a balance pass, Thanos was basically untouched. Maybe that was a miss, maybe that was intentional. Bucky became like debatably the best character in the game for like 6 months after that balance pass. Who do you think is the Thanos of this balance pass, and who is the Bucky? Right? Like who's going to be way better than they were, and maybe even better than expected, and who maybe should have been included in this to get ground down just a little bit.
Black Bolt and New Skull.
Okay, that's fair. Black Bolt seems very good. He seems very good now.
Well, okay, so like
enabling for his team, a powerhouse in his own right. Yeah.
I'm gonna say what I imagine Sweet Tea and Coffee would say, and that's Black Bolt is really good, but the rest of Inhumans are like still kind of like struggling. Like Medusa's fine. Crystal is
so is Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel is
rad.
Miss Marvel's okay. Cool, like she has her moments where she's great, but she's I don't know. Like I think every time I've gone to Miss Marvel, I'm never impressed. I'm just like, this character did next to nothing. So I don't know. I'm kind of just.
You can make mistakes with Miss Marvel, but sorry,
that's
off topic. Yeah.
No, that's completely fine. Sorry, I'm distracted right now. Poop. I got it.
Mod it. Mods in the chat. Mods in the chat. Get these sentinels out of here. We're a bunch of mutant lovers.
But so I think that the rest of the Inhumans are going to like be struggle busting to like keep up with Black Bolt. But now the thing is like Black Bolt is very, very, very much like going to be able to carry the rest of the team a long ways because of his output. I'm actually kind of glad the rest of the Inhumans are at where they're at, because if they weren't, then I would absolutely be like, yeah, Inhumans are freaking like the Inhumans are like the thing to go for now. As far as I think I would agree. I think Black Bolt is the one that's going to be like, this guy might have gotten a little too much. But I'm for it. I don't think it's like I don't think it's to the level that like
it, man.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just I don't think it's to the level that Bucky was. because you're not going to see Black Bolt splash everywhere. He's a 5 threat. Bucky's a 3
That's
threat
fair,
with
Yeah,
Rogue
that's the-
Agent.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's hard
I
to
think
compare that, man. That's
yeah. Now, as far as character that
Is it Wong?
Is Wong. Wong's the mistake.
Yeah.
Or the
I
one that
didn't
got
say it
left
was a
behind.
mistake,
The one that
I
got
just
left
said he was
behind. What's the other part of the question?
Wong is not the one. No.
No.
So
thought-
who's the new old Thanos?
I think I agree with Red Skull.
Like who's the character
it's,
that's
it's,
like in the game that was not included in the?
I
Yeah, I
no
think
no.
either
I
the
see it's crazy.
Hulk
Hulk.
or
It's
Hulk
freaking
one,
Hulk.
yeah.
Like Hulk. Hulk is the one. Hulk is like yeah.
I am so here for Hulk being like on top
Oppressive.
for what that's worth. Like
I mean, I am
think-
too.
like,
Yeah, man, I agree. I think I think he's great where he's at. Sure, he's just as splashable as anything else, honestly, but it's like you said, it's Hulk, dude.
it's Hulk.
You know what
Like,
Hulk
why-
doesn't
why-
like?
Why don't you want Hulk to be?
And
good?
I will say this, he's easy to, I won't say easy, but he can definitely be dealt with. You don't have
No,
to
he's-
like kill him
so-
every game.
When we look at Wolverine, Logan, Psylocke, Domino, all these X-Men characters that could very handily take out Hulk over the course of a round, I don't think Hulk really like. I think the only thing that Hulk does that's like
Yeah.
scary is
Nightcrawler's gonna
his action.
push
You know, Nightcrawler
Hulk
one
to
shots
the
Hulk.
sideline.
Like he's just like I'm gonna go spender. I'm gonna spend 3
Dink, dink,
power.
dunks.
I'm gonna spend 3 power and I'm just gonna run one round Hulk all by myself. Like, let's go. I think Vincent Kirchhoff said that if there's gonna be a best character, might as well be Hulk. That's fair. But I think Hulk's
Vince
gonna
does not
have
a
his
monopoly on that sentiment.
yeah, I think that's very common. But I definitely think that there's gonna be ways to deal with Hulk. Like we have again Nightcrawler coming out with that spender, like, and mutants are gonna be everywhere, and they're gonna be even more everywhere when Nightcrawler comes out because that spender is insane. There was a question.
Oh, yeah.
Sam, who are yours? What are yours, Sam?
Well, probably Cosmic Ghost Rider. Like I was all in on the Red Skull train, but that was
Yeah.
because I got some bad information. By which I mean my brain interpreted good information badly, and I thought that Cosmic Ghost Rider went to once per turn, like as a part of this pass, and I was like, oh man, that's
Oh,
fantastic!
no.
I'm so glad they did that. And now I'm just like, oh no,
He didn't get touched at all, right?
he didn't get
No.
touched at all. No, he's
Yeah, that's what I thought.
honestly he's too new to be touched by something like
That's
this. So
what-
like,
yeah, I was
it's
kinda-
fine, but
And
Just
he's
play
honestly, he's a
Colossus.
slot machine, dude. Like, I get it. Do what?
I mean, yeah,
Just play Colossus.
Colossus is like a hard counter to a lot of
Oh yeah.
this stuff. So I think that's maybe the one that like should have gotten maybe something out of this. If not him, then Red Skull. Yeah, those two are
Yeah.
very good.
I honestly think Red Skull's more of a pain to deal with than CGR. Just because of what he brings to the table.
I guess the thing with Red Skull for me is that if you have a good spread of attack types,
Mm-hmm.
then you can kind of dictate what Red Skull gets to do for the
For
game.
sure. Yeah,
And,
I
like,
just my thing with Skull is this. Really, the main thing that I feel like needs to change is his attack should not be range 3. I feel like that's goofy. It's a regular strike at range 3 for whatever reason.
No, it's a magic strike, duh.
Magic strike. Magic.
Oh, damn. It all makes sense.
I really don't want to say Black Bolt with you guys. But
But
I don't
what
think that
what
you're
does your
that
heart
wrong.
say?
Dude,
What does your
Well,
heart
Thor
say?
2 though. Thor 2, man. We didn't even talk about Thor.
So
Thor's awesome.
Thor
now.
and Black Cat stand out to me as being like their changes seem like they're very strong.
Yeah.
Thor's like Thor getting the immunities that he should have always had,
Yeah. That was
coupled
so
with
mind blowing.
his spender becoming something that's like a legitimate consideration, right? Because I can't count the number of times that I've used that spinner to good effect for what it's
Right.
worth, right? It's just like it was like once in 25 games, like you're in a situation where you're like, oh, I should probably just do this instead. Now
Nope.
you're like, you can actively try to put yourself in situations where that is the correct play, especially with it handing out shock, right? Like that's massive. So I think Thor's real good. I think that Black Cat, not counting like she became so tanky.
Yeah,
Like
that's
she,
sweet.
it's like this was already an incredibly splashable character. They have changed the splashability of her from being like steal and run away to being like, what if I just like staggered your like expensive model and stood here and took the one punch that they can give every turn. I don't know. I think she's going to be real good. I think she's going to be a lot of places. So one of those two, probably Black Cat more so than Thor, right? Because just like with Black Bolt, where we said he's
Oh,
not going to
yeah.
show up everywhere, right?
True.
Like Thor's still going to largely be an Asgardian. He's going to largely be an Avenger. Black Cat is going to be in a lot of places, I think.
Oh, here's a question, Sam. Do you think Big Dick Thor is gonna come back?
So are so we're talking like Hulk, new
Watching
Thor, and then like
Yeah.
second core Cap.
Yeah.
I think that that's probably got more legs than old Big Dick Thor had. Because I think that hitting triggers is better than paying one less, like all across the board.
Well, it's very much
the
like
fact that,
you,
that, like Captain America is
yeah.
going to basically turn on a throw and a stagger, like far more often than not for Thor. Like that makes Thor feel really good. When I was playing a lot of Asgard, the one complaint that I had was that it just felt like they needed more modern stuff.
Yeah.
And between the releases that came out for them, and now this upgrade to Thor, he feels a lot better. And I think that running him under new Steve, even under old Steve, he's still going to have a lot of interesting stuff to do.
Fair enough.
So I can see that. I don't think that Gamma scores fast enough anymore.
No.
For a lot of like number one, like that, right? So like let's going back in the Wayback Machine with the boomers here, right? So like the reasons that squad worked when it worked was, and it was never that good. Number one, I'm sorry, but it was never that good. It was oppressive to play against if you didn't understand it. But what it did do is that it lined up on Gamma, which you were able to choose, right? Because you were like, I'm going to take 2 of my 3 secures here, and then I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to put that one down, right? So you were picking Gamma. You were picking 15, right? Because if you were able to, make that decision, you were probably able to pick the points too. And then you were going to put these guys on the table, and nobody else knew how to deal with 15 threat that hit that hard, that fast, and could be on your home Gamma that quickly. And so I think that's where that was always a gotcha squad. And I think it'll be a gotcha squad again, but I don't think that the game is like, you just don't get to make that many decisions anymore when you have prio, when you're like making these decisions. So I don't think it's going to like be the newest, hottest thing, but I think that you're going to see squads that have those pieces in it. So it's always going to be a threat. And
that's fair.
I think that it'll be fun to play with in the right situations, but most of those right situations aren't. I mean, like, you could just leave it there and it's still correct. Like most of those right situations, you're playing against someone who maybe doesn't completely understand the game and how to play you. And so if you're going to play something like that against someone, like you should talk them through it so that you're both better players at the end of the game.
Completely fair. Trim the cat in the chat. Trim the cat in the chat says, who do you think should have gotten changes? They think Crossbones, Sins, and Viper. My immediate, I guess, go-to with this is probably Carnage. Like Carnage, add Carnage to that list.
Yeah. I have a whole list for In Memoriam, if you want.
Go ahead.
Because
You got it.
Something that's
You
been
got
on
it.
my mind for a few days. Right? Like we need like the In Memoriam music. So like I don't know, we need something like, oh, no, just something like make us all sad. Sin, Old Crossbones, Viper, Supergiant, Mr. Sinister,
Jeez.
Clea, Mysterio, War Machine, Cassandra Nova, Black Dwarf, pour one out for my boy, Omega Red, and the last one on the list who was supposed to have the biggest impact was Carnage. And that's my list. I think that's like way more comprehensive than it needs to be, right? Like of all of these characters, like personally, I think that like the small base short movers are by and large the saddest. And I think that Carnage is maybe one of those pieces that's impossible to balance because he will just like murder the entire table or disappear before he even gets an attack.
Arms of an Angel by Sarah McLachlan.
There we go.
Just hear it in your head. Everybody knows the song. Like just like when you like, we should just create a slideshow of the balance pass of MCP 2023 in memoriam. And just like have like pictures of the characters, right? Like sliding like all the puppies and all that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, the puppy commercials.
Oh man.
If only we were a good podcast.
Oh, that's true. Let's see.
Overrated.
Overrated. There's another one that got asked. Do you guys think, from Trim the Cat in the chat, do you guys think Nightcrawler Spender should be range 1?
This is like a hot take on a hot take. I think that like we by and large we try to avoid the design questions like that. Like
Yeah.
Elektra had a range 1 attack.
Still does.
Is that,
Yeah.
yeah,
She
it's
still
like,
does,
she's like
yeah.
the only one. That is hard to use. I don't think
Okay,
anybody
so
wants to make Nightcrawler hard to use.
I honestly, here's my thought on it. I think that he has
Yeah,
such
but doesn't
easy
he place within
access.
range 1 though?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like he has such easy access to get into that range. If he hits you or targets you with an attack, he's just there anyways. So it doesn't matter. Like if it was range 1, he would still be able to do it anyways, whether or not. It's just now he can open up with the Spender if he really wanted to. Apparently, I got a really big delay now. There's a storm that just rolled through.
Yeah, it's like
Stellar.
it's hitting us a little bit too.
Oh, see, that delay's gone. That was quick.
We hit our
Trim the Cat. Ant-Man has a range 1. Ant-Man might be another
Ant-Man's got
one.
Range 1. Damn right.
Ant-Man might be another
He's
one.
there.
I don't know. Ant-Man's solid though. Like I don't know. I like Ant-Man still.
Dude, he's one of my favorite characters in the game.
He's a 3-threat with a 6-die attack.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just
that's
he
yeah.
slept on. He just slept on still.
he is largely slept on. He doesn't have a good home. He kind of suffers from like the Punisher syndrome.
His home is Sam Wilson or Defenders. Well, Defenders with when Steve Strange. I've had great success with him in Defenders.
Yeah,
That little mystic ant-sized uppercut's pretty legit.
oh yeah. He's got a
Or-
beam too for the leadership.
Yeah, I was gonna
there.
say, or making his beam too.
What's
And
that?
then I'll give you 3 conditions off 1 beam. So it's pretty
What
legit.
you gotta do is you gotta do that beam, then you gotta follow it up with a kick them while they're down
Yeah,
from an ant-sized uppercut.
if they're still alive. At
right,
that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, that I love Ant-Man.
I don't know.
All
Anybody
right.
else that maybe should have gotten sanded down? Meccanon in the chat says that Captain Sam should have lost his push on the shield throw, and I can get behind that.
I could see that. If anything, especially off the ricochet, because that was just goofy.
Yeah.
That's just
He's just a dude. Like, I guess-
insanely long pushes.
He's a dude. He's a dude with mechanical wings throwing his shield. Like, how
He's
is?
very fast, dude, throwing a shield.
I mean,
will give
I
him
guess that must be like what we're thinking. He's got the momentum, right? Like
Yeah.
he's like flying in. He's always dropping in from like 10,000 feet, throwing that shield into 2 people and pushing them around.
Yeah.
Must be that.
Is there anything else you guys want to hit on, or you want to start wrapping it up?
I mean, the hype is real, right?
The hype
I
is
guess
real.
that's hype.
real.
I'm here for it.
Like,
How many games have
this
you
is the most
played?
excited I've
All
been
week,
about
dude.
MCP in a while.
How many games have you played so far?
Just 2.
It's 2.
Yeah,
Two.
I think I've got 4, 5 total. With all the-
Slack and Sam.
Good job. Sorry, married kids. My wife's birthday weekend. Yeah, getting away was real easy.
Oh man. I don't know. I'm excited. I think the game's in a really good state right now though. I think this balance
Yeah.
update was great. Like I'm so happy right now. Like I'm over the moon.
It's a new meta again.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
like
Yeah.
this shakes everything up.
All this plus the new core set, whatever that's gonna, the rest of the stuff that's gonna bring is just gonna be all around awesome because you're not gonna be seeing the same trash on the table all the time.
Speaking of which, I wouldn't mind throwing a big shout out to all the anybody who's getting prepped for the WTC, because those guys very carefully were like, we're not going to allow the new core. Like it's going to be out like too close to the event. So instead of like this whole meta shakeup, like we're not going to allow that. And then AMG was like, well, what if we just changed a whole bunch of characters anyway?
And it's
So those guys
live.
are all getting
And it's
scrambled
live now. Like that was the best part. It was just like, and these will be live, I don't know, 30 minutes when we're done going over all these. Like, jeez. Like
you're not gonna use the core set? Watch this. All right.
No corset. So, I mean, I was really worried that like if this happened, right? Because I had a lot of like, oh, I really hope they do it, but like I could see how they don't. You know, they said they would never do it again. Please do this. And then like when it didn't happen on day one, like I don't know. I don't want to say that like I drank myself into a stupor and passed out on the like porch or anything because I didn't. But I mean, I was concerned when like it didn't come out. I was hoping they would just rip the Band-Aid off on day one if they were going to do it. So when it did come through, I got like really excited, and then it was like, well, great. When's it gonna come out? Q2 2024. You know, like
We're doing everything right now. Like, like here's everything. The best,
It's
the
the strategy
best. The best part though is they started with cable. I was like it was just like I was so happy, man.
Why wouldn't
like it was? Oh man, it was. I love Cable.
Was there
like,
word
he's
of
so
a
good.
physical card pack though?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember hearing anything.
Okay.
Granted, I had to dip out before.
I'd be
I could,
surprised
like,
if they
finish
don't.
watching.
Yeah,
Hey, they're going
I'd be
to.
very
It's
surprised
just
if there
when.
isn't one.
But from my understanding, if anybody wants
the
to,
Crisis Pack isn't out, so this could just bundle them.
I don't think they will do that. I don't think like that's. I guess maybe that'd be cool. I'd be all for it. But if you want to get your cards printed off, just there's a document posted on AMG's website that has all the cards in. Just take it to Staples or Kinko's or UPS. Not UPS. UPS. They typically have stuff out there in the printies for you. Just make sure that you point out to them that it says in that document that like this is okay for printing, because a lot of places will not print it because it says copyright on it. So you have to like make sure that they see the fact that there's that note that says it's okay to print these things. Okay. So
look at the footer.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do that.
Plus, if you can take it to a place like that,
I
they'll
got one
laminate
more.
it for you too.
That's fancy. I just want it on card stock.
Yeah.
All right. Who are you most excited to play? Joey. I think
Most
Dizzard's,
excited to
telegraph this. So
Dizzard took mine, so I'll probably go with. Dude, I don't know. I think it's Colossus.
and where?
Man.
Oh, that'll spice it up. And where? Like, who are you most excited to play and where?
This is hard. I've been actually thinking about this since we started talking. I really want to do Defenders now.
Okay.
I gotta get a hold of Daredevil, obviously, but I really want to do Defenders. There's a couple of things I've been thinking about toying around with those guys now. Defenders / Sons, but that and using Colossus in the Brotherhood, I think, is what I'm looking forward to.
Nice.
Yep. I think Colossus is gonna be a blast now.
Dizzard. Shocking the world. Here comes breaking news, everyone.
Hot take, everybody. The hottest.
I am most excited
Turn your headphones up.
to play Deadpool because he's actually
I
viable
thought you were
now.
saying Wong.
That'd be funny. So like I love Cable, but the thing is I've been playing Cable even in the previous state, so it's literally just playing the same character but actually good. Deadpool, I haven't touched Deadpool since NashCon 2021. So it's like, so I'm excited to play Deadpool in affiliation and feel good about it and not just be like, I'm playing this because I like Deadpool. Like Deadpool freaking rocks right now. Man, it's like they gave Deadpool everything I could have asked for and then some. I wasn't expecting a place 2. Like it's Deadpool is legit.
Yeah, that's so good.
Place 2 is cool.
Because I've been using him in an Avengers roster. I've been using him and Gwenpool, and they both got that. Or well, she had it, and now he's got it too, so it's even better. But yeah, they're both super fun together on the same squads.
Well, the cool thing about it, if anybody wants to know, is you can absolutely go with Deadpool, move medium, have somebody in range 4 shoot them, probably hit the trigger because it's just a hit wild and you got karate and X-Force reroll. And you're probably ignoring cover because they'll probably be within range 3. You only need to generate 1 power, which you get automatically from Bang, and you're going to do another attack probably, so you're going to get 2 power off of it. And then you pay 2 to place, and then you're going to have another power to be able to interact with something. So it's like, man, I'm...
The old shoot and scoot.
The shoot and scoot. And then people are like, well, he's still got 4 health on his front side. He just dies. And it's like, you want Deadpool to be on his backside.
You just gave me power.
you just
He's
gave him
healthy on the
power.
back, so who cares?
He's healthy on the back. He's got 6 health
Yep.
on the back, and you unlock the dance party. And dance party is still just such an amazing spender
Not to mention exceptional healing.
and exceptional. Sam, who's yours?
Yeah, I need to bring him in.
It's fun.
Well, Thanos, but that's kind of like Cable for me. So
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
say,
Hela.
that's-
I am the
Yeah.
most excited to play with Hela. I like
Hella
Asgard,
dusty.
and it's time to do some spring cleaning here in September. We're gonna clean her up and get her back on the table. The couple games that I have played, I played her with Black Order, and it feels really nice to have another Mystic attacker with a range 4 attack in the fold. She is a cheap enough body for Eyes on the Prize plays, where like I don't really mind that she's not doing anything else on that first turn because I'm not asking that much of her. So like all I need to do is leverage her assets to go and pick something up so I can sit her on a back point and then let her turret. And if anybody gets within range 3 of her, that it's not about the heal and it's not about the damage. It's about the short move on her new ability that lets her target a model within 3, move towards it, and then basically do like a counter attack where you roll the 4 dice and you're getting crits and wilds to do damage and heal. But like you're repositioning a range 4 turret when you do that, and that is awesome. So her skull generation got so much easier with the power cost of Claim Soul going down to 1, so you can just spam that attack every turn now. That feels great. And the other thing that she can do is if she's getting any sort of damage or gaining extra power from anything else, is you can her spender her builder and her spender being range 3 attacks now feels really great. Like just dropping tons of damage, and if Thanos is in range, you're boosting it even further. So she's just throwing a quantity of dice out there for a very cheap cost. Like the efficiency on her really went through the roof, in my opinion, from where she was to where she is. Plus, she's like randomly just not going to die sometimes.
Awesome.
So Hela.
Hella dusty. All right. Well, you guys got any closing thoughts you want to hit on? Or are we good?
I think we're solid.
I think we're good.
I think we're good. I just want to thank
fun.
everybody who came to hang out with us tonight. We had probably the most people watching that we've had in a long time. Like we got to like 20 people at one point. So thanks for coming and hanging out with us and talk about the game. And we have been the Rogue Agents, and you have been the MCP Happy Gamers, friends, people.
Welcome back.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Maximum effort. In this war, there's no surrender. He's out of line, but he's right. Who the hell is Bucky?
You don't like a fair fight.
I think you're wrong. Which part? All of it.
Think you're the only superhero in the world?
Touché.
Boom. All right. Recording's done.
Touche.
Still live on Twitch. I don't know what happened. Like I feel like the
All right.
recording was
Still
going
live on
really
Twitch.
good. Like yeah, still live on Twitch. I felt like the Twitch stream was going really, really good for a while, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like I just heard pouring down rain, and I'm like, oh god. And the next thing I know, there's like
Yeah,
I start getting
here too.
I start getting like a 10-second delay where I say something, there's like dead silence, and I'm like, oh no, this is probably terrible
Oh, no.
right now.
Yeah, that's no good.
Oh, that was a good episode. That was fun. Cable's legit. I can't say it enough. Like Cable is so legit right now. Like, man.
It's hard, man. It's hard to decide what I want to play. I got
Everything.
toying
Yeah,
around with all these rosters, and I'm like, shit, man.
I do kind of want to try some Brotherhood, but
Yeah,
You said do
buddy,
Brotherhood.
I like
Brotherhood.
it.
Do Brotherhood with Hela. Do Brotherhood with Hela.
I don't want to do that.
That's
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Black Order goes. I am going to bring out Black Order for this week. If I get out
Yeah.
to play games with my local guys, they get to deal with it, and I'm just gonna drink in their salty tears and
That's the way to do it, though.
or lose.
you.
You know, like it's fine. Like it's beatable. It's not like it's like unbeatable or anything.
But it is.
It's just not fun. People don't like playing against it when they're just like, hey, here's your best model or the model that you like, and now it's gone. Rinse, repeat.
Yeah, but you can't teleport 20 people and change the whole board state anymore. So it's fine.
That's true.
Right.
Exactly.
I was never doing that.
So take
Completely
that.
fair. Completely fair. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
it's fine.
In the Twitch chat,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
for
go ahead and end this. Everybody, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. You guys have been great. Toodles.
Adios, legends.
Bye for now.